هو هنايا.
Tu m'entends?
Oui, je t'entends. Comment ça va?
Fatiguée, mais ça va, j'ai besoin de dormir comme une personne normale. And I need to finish all. Listen, I have so many deadlines for work.
So, could you introduce yourself?
Okay, my name is Grace Divine Matenga. I am soon to be a PhD candidate, and I work for the WHO as a junior consultant. And I've just finished my master's last year in communication, culture, and media.
How was the lockdown in the UK?
How was the lockdown in the UK? Boring, but well, we survived. That's one thing, though. We survived. We are alive making these videos, so that's a testimony on its own. For a person like me, it was good. I had the best time of my life staying at home, not doing anything. Well, for other people, I cannot speak for them, but I can imagine how hard it must have been for them, especially people that doesn't like to stay indoors. And some of them had to have help from the outside. Some of them developed some anxiety. Some of them had to go through depression on their own, especially when you're living by yourself during this confinement. How would you feel? There's nobody there to talk to you except you calling them.
Did you keep in contact with your family in Congo during their lockdown?
I did. The lockdown was more severe than the lockdown here. Here, at least you could go to the market to buy things that you needed, essentials. Over there, you were supposed to buy the essential ones, and then you stay at home throughout the entire 3 months that we were confined in. So
You got a little bit closer with your family, because I feel like I've got a little bit closer with everyone, just talking all the time with them.
I would definitely say yes, because when you speak every day, sometimes you tend to overshare stuff. Or living in the same house and then seeing each other constantly, morning, noon, evening, morning, noon, evening, on repeat for 3 months, I think would drive anybody crazy. But I think after the confinement was over, everybody was like, I think it's time that everybody go get some air, and then we can run away from each other for a little bit.
So, half your family is in Congo then, but why did you decide to come here and study in the UK instead of staying with your dad in Congo?
The choice to stay, that was mine and mine alone. I decided to stay because they have a better education. Just like that, to just have a better education, because the infrastructure in Congo doesn't give you the freedom to study as much as you can here, and doesn't give you as a broadened subject as it does you find it here.
So what was your expectation of the UK before you came here compared to how it's now?
I didn't expect it to be this grand, basically. I expected it to be like, see, when you go to Belgium, there's countries like Belgium that are very small and you find yourself easily. I didn't expect the UK to be so big that you can get lost in it. They all speak one language, but there's too many accents for that one language. I didn't expect that. Spending 10 years here, you can get used to it after a while. So yeah, Congo is more colorful in terms of culture, if I have to say that like that. It is way more colorful, way more varied, way more different than here. Here, you find the majority, which is white people. And then in the minority, you find Black people, Indian, Pakistanis, Chinese, all these immigrants that's coming from outside. When over there, you find more than 26 ethnicities, which are from that same country, from different part of different villages, different cities from that same country. It's a country of 80 million people. 80 million people. So you can only imagine the differences compared to England. Political infrastructure, I would say there is a big gap, like a big difference in terms of it is more structured here to some extent, though it's still very a mess, much of a mess, but it is a structured mess compared to Congo. Not to belittle my own country, but it is a complete mess.
Um, Going back to immigration, why do you think a lot of young Congolese prefer studying in Europe and in the US? Is it just better education, more opportunity, or is it something more?
I myself study in Congo and I studied here. I've never studied in the US, but I have friends that have studied in the US. The Congolese program as well. We use the Belgium program. And when you use the Belgium program, as somebody that studied, you study everything. You're not, there's no specification. You study everything from math, even though you are doing, at some point, you're planning to go to university to do medicine, you will study everything as the other person that's going to do law will be studying. When here in the UK, to be more precise, you are specific in the path that you want to go. If, for example, you want to study law at university, at least you know that the college will prepare you to go on that path. You have the choice to go straight on that path instead of staying broad. So I would say people rather come to study here first of all because of the quality and because you are not overloaded with so much information that you won't need later on. And here they give you time to find yourself and then pay for it. So basically they're not too harsh on the newly students leaving university.
Do you ever regret moving to the UK? Would you prefer to have stayed in Congo?
I do not regret going to the UK. No, I don't think regret is what I would call it. I think it was meant to be. I wouldn't be the person that I am if I didn't travel or if I didn't move from there to here. I wouldn't have the experience that I have now. To this stage, I wouldn't be working where I'm working if I didn't move. That would be unfair to myself to say that I'm regretting it. It would be unfair to the opportunity that I've had throughout these 10 years. It would be unfair to the things that were given to me. I remember when WHO emailed me and then they said that they looked that I had the master in communication. I was like, the WHO just emailed me to say that I got a job. Moving here played a role into me having the job that I have, into me being motivated to be a PhD candidate soon. So I'm like, yes, I'm somebody that likes to study a lot. So I don't think I would have been to the level where I'm at if I didn't move here. I wouldn't consider to go to do a PhD if I didn't move here. You see the things that you can do with a PhD, and I saw it here. I didn't see it over there. I saw it here. Coming here opened some doors for me to a certain extent that I didn't expect it to be opened. And it gave me experience of life that I have that I can never ever exchange with anything. Going forth and trying to live with this pandemic, obviously, schools and university will change a lot of things. So therefore, I believe everything will change for everyone, especially students.
Are you ever thinking about going back to Congo and help the country, or would you rather stay in the UK?
Definitely, yes. At some point, I would definitely go back because there's more room for growth there than there's room for growth here. There's more room to build on nothingness there than there is here. Here, there's so many things. Like I always say to some of my friends, there is built infrastructure in the UK. It's a for example, for any media and communication student when in the university, you know that the competition in that field is very tight, very tight. There's not many people that get to be in the media industry, not many people. So you all have 80,000 students fighting for that one job per year. It is crazy when you go to a country like Congo. There's two of them, the big one, which do not have the same infrastructure as the one in the UK. There is room for all of us. There's room, or not, obviously not all 80,000 students of us, but at least half of us. There's room to build things and to create things that can rebuild the country in some shape or form, in some ways. Over there, there's practically no media industry. And that's been for like many years now. So I can only imagine a person like me going with a dream and then trying to build a media industry. There will be so much room for many people to come and play as well, or build something for themselves.
How would you change the media landscape in Congo? What do you think is changing?
Education. I think the first thing that needs to be given would be education, to educate those that are interested in media about media. That's where you start. Because I'm not saying that they do not have the knowledge. I don't think they do. I don't think they have a in-depth knowledge to the same extent as here. And there is obviously a big lacking in terms of technology in the media field compared to here. Like, there's so many things that's missing, but so therefore I say education, and yeah, in-depth education and in-depth knowledge.
What do you think will happen to Congo in the future?
I don't know. I wouldn't know how to answer that question, because listen, there's too many probabilities of what may happen to that country at some point. First we had a dictator, and then after that we had the president that promised too much, and then listen, I don't know. I really don't know. Only God knows. It is too much of a big country to know.
And what are your hopes for the country?
Oh, peace. My main one is peace. There's too much walls, small walls inside the country. So my main one will be peace. It is one of the most beautiful, richest country on earth. That's what I'm gonna say. It's one of the most beautiful, colorful, and richest country on earth. God bless that country beyond measure.